My name is Catherine Zhang. I am 17 and I go to school at Plano West Senior High School. So I'm pretty obsessed with TED Talks, and I somehow found out on Facebook that they were going to host like a TEDx Plano event. So I filled out the application, and I don't really know how I stumbled upon the topic that I talked about. I think I just felt really passionate about it, and I thought about it for a couple of days, and I was like, okay, that's something that I care about, and that's what I talked about. So I decided to talk about student voices in education reform, because it really frustrated me that in previous years, I had really loved classes like English, but due to poor instruction and like a lack of oversight, it just completely ruined the experience for me.
Other problems we encountered were that our projects seemed more like coloring activities than actual content, and that we were always forced to only consider one interpretation, especially on multiple choice tests. And so the more we went on with English, the more we realized that there was something fundamentally wrong with the way it was being taught.
I auditioned for them. I actually thought I bombed it, but I guess they really liked it, so they chose me, and they're like, congrats, Catherine. And it was the day before my birthday, so I was really excited to get that news.
Who inspires you?
Myself. People that inspire me, like pioneers of their industry, like young people. So like Lord inspires me because she's 17 and she has an incredible amount of talent, and she uses her voice to talk about things that she really cares about. And like Tavi Jevinson, who is the creator of this like kind of like magazine for teenage girls, it's called Rookie. She created this like empire when she was like 13 or 15, and she's like a voice for so many young females out there, especially like young female feminists. And that's really cool that she has such a voice at such a young age, and she wasn't like impeded by any other factors. Like she just set out to do what she wanted to do, and she did it. And so young people like that always inspire me. How would I describe my personal style? Okay, I describe it as a sartorial zoo. Because it actually is a zoo. Like, look at this. There are cats on this dress, and I also have owls, and I have zebras, and I have bees. I wear the bee dress because I know that some of my friends have an irrational fear of bees, so like if I want to spite them, I'll wear that dress that day. I have foxes. I'm about to get another set of owls. I just like tigers and hummingbirds. So I have like I have a collection of like different animal print clothing items, and that's why it's called the Sartorial Zoo. Isn't that clever?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Twitter account, and how do you use it?
Oh yeah, I do have a Twitter account. So like at first Twitter really confused me because I didn't know why people were like tweeting such generic stuff. They're just like, do you ever they're like, do you ever feel like sometimes you're just alone in this world? And I was like, I'm sure everybody feels like that. Why are you asking me this? And I didn't understand it. Also, people said things like DMs. I had to look it up on Urban Dictionary. Anyway, I just use Twitters to tell like stories about my life that I find like mildly amusing. So my first tweet was about why I don't like Iggy Azalea, and that's because in third grade there was a slug. In third grade, there was a slug that terrorized my house. And it looked just like Iggy Azalea. It was really scary. I don't know if it was like part of my dreams, or like maybe it was a real thing, but it had like facial expression. And I felt like Twitter deserved to know that. So I just tweet stories about my life that I think are funny, but other people use it for other things that kind of confuse me.